What's up, everybody? So today we're here to review one of the weirdest shoes I've bought in a while. I can't say I absolutely love them, but I really wanted to see them in person as soon as possible. I actually tried to pick them up in store to see if I would actually like them, but they weren't available. Luckily, it's still available on Nike.com as well as the sneakers app right now in almost all sizes. So if you want to pick them up and they're kind of your thing, definitely go ahead and do that. But I just really wanted to see what the new tech looked like. If you kind of remember the old Nike Shox from back in the day, those are the coolest things ever. And because of that, you know, they kind of reborn that in what is called the Nike Shox Gravity today. And that specific shoe is a re-release of the Nike Shox technology, so it's a completely revamped version of what that cushioning and kind of spring system looked like, but in a modern day look. And so the idea is to make it look futuristic. It's supposed to be very springy, things like that. I kind of compared from a marketing perspective similarly to the spring blades that Adidas had several years back. I believe they stopped making them. I haven't seen those shoes in a while. Shox Gravity is the newest model. I assume we're going to be seeing many more colorways, but the initial colorway that we'll be seeing today is entitled Vast Gray and Metallic Gold. And without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first is the box. This is the Nike sportswear box. There's nothing special here. It is just a large Nike swoosh and large Nike symbols all around. Nothing to review here except the fact that, like I said, these are the Vast Gray and Metallic Golds. And so this is the official Nike Shox Gravity, a re-release of the Shox-based technology that was released by Nike many years back at this point. I think I was in middle school when it came out. So if you look at the shoe, there's obviously a lot of things going on. The first thing that you're going to notice as the upper is going to be completely mesh-based. I had said earlier that the colorway is specifically Vast Gray. This is something new to me because if you look at the promo shots, most of it looks white. And so I'm not sure what it looks like on the camera, but typically it still looks like a white shoe. There's a lot going on in the shoe, and so I'd like to kind of dissect it. On the lateral side of the shoe, there is the Nike swoosh symbol and done in this gold metallic. It's actually not metal. I kind of thought it was when I first looked at it online, but it's just kind of cheap plastic that they could put onto a lot of different types of shoes. I wouldn't say it's a great material, especially at the retail price of $150. I expected this to be a little better from a quality perspective because it could have been metallic and they could have done a better job here. Also on the lateral side, instead of the traditional fly knit, which is typically a very small thin wire that basically runs in and out of the shoe from the knit, this comes in this kind of weird meshy plasticky type of pattern over here in the red and a clear color. It kind of reminds me of a zip tie, which might be the look that they were going for. But overall, it's actually really odd. I'm not sure if it's fly knit, and I don't think I would consider it fly knit. But it does the same job. When I had it on foot, it does feel relatively secure because of the zip tie of the fly knit base material here. Also on the side are the lace patterns, are also the laces. The laces are done in a plastic that's done in gray. They're these semicircles. I don't know how else to describe them. Not too many laces look like that. I don't know if you've ever seen a Solomon shoe, but it looks exactly like the Solomon-based lacing system with a little tab over here. And we started seeing this more recently with Nike's newer releases, a little bit like the Vapor Max Utility. What's kind of cool about the specific lace system is while it's obviously pulling to make it tighter, there is a little latch over here that goes onto the bottom of the laces, so that it does get held in place. Why this is important, because if you did not have a feature like this that actually locked the lace, it would actually flop up and down as you're walking. So that's a little nice touch for the shoe itself. On the medial side, it's just more of the zip tie fly knit that's available and the Nike symbol. It's over here. There is no Nike symbol over here. For the most part, the upper of the shoe, I'm not a huge fan of. There's also this Shox symbol that's done in a rubber over here. Finally, on the back of the shoe, you're going to see the midsole change into a different color, which is a gray. On the side, it's normally this kind of white color. It's a little like an off-white. But the midsole becomes a little more pronounced in the back, and so you can see this protruding out over here from the midsole into the back of the shoe into the outsole. And there are striations along the lines on the back, which I think are interesting, and there's obviously huge color differences between there and the shoe. And so this is where the shoe looks extremely busy. Kind of flipping it to the back, you're going to start seeing the most interesting parts of the shoe. And so there's just a lot of things going on. I'm going to try to give you guys a close-up of a lot of this. The first thing is the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what symbols there are that you're seeing there. They kind of look like comets. Maybe if you guys know what these mean, please feel free to comment below, and you can see that it is in a red and orangey and yellow color. Towards the midfoot area, you're going to see the white Nike swoosh. White with Nike swoosh and black. And finally over here, there is a translucent sole with black traction pads. And so that's what the outsole looks like. And so the larger piece of this looks like this. And altogether, the bottom of the sole, I feel like looks the coolest and kind of most interesting part of the shoe. The rest of it looks kind of cheap to me. I feel like it looks like a Payless shoe, which is not the best in the world. And there is a... Actually, I didn't realize this until now. The Nike's actually not printed on. It's actually indented, so I can actually put my finger inside there. Most important part of the shoe is the Shox. I'm not exactly sure what is so special about the Shox system that they revamped. I'm trying to figure that out. I did wear these already. And from a comfort level, I give them maybe a 5 out of 10. I'm not a huge fan of this mesh. It seems like it seems cheap. And in addition to that, the zip tie Flyknit doesn't seem to flex as much as I would like in terms of other shoes, and so comparing it from that perspective, I don't think it's a very comfortable shoe. And then the Shox, I actually can't tell what it does at all. I expected some springiness. I don't know if if any of you guys have worn Vapor Maxes, you're gonna know right away that you take a step and that shoe wants to propel you forward. If you worn any of the Vaporflies or any of the Zoom Flies, those shoes want to propel you forward. I'm not exactly sure what this tech does. I'm not saying it's not a very comfortable shoe. It's like I said, it's a 5 out of 10. Basically, all my other sneakers are probably more comfortable than this. So I definitely don't recommend this shoe, which I was surprised about just because I really loved the pairs of Nike Shox that I had as a child. And to me, they were very comfortable back then. Maybe technology has propelled so far that the Shox don't even matter anymore. From a sizing perspective, you can more than likely go true to size. I had decided to buy a size up because most Nike shoes that have Flywire for me fit a little tight around the front of the foot where the toe box is, and so typically when that happens, I will buy half size up to make sure that it's looser. But in this scenario, I would say definitely go true to size. It's a little big in terms of length for me right now, and because the Flywire doesn't really exist here, it's a different type of Flywire, I'd say that your shoe to size is more than good enough. Overall, final thoughts on the shoe, not a huge fan. I expected these to be a lot more comfortable. I expected the Shox technology to be leaps and bounds better than anything that was out in the marketplace, at least from a bounceability perspective. I don't feel like that really happened, especially with the Vapor Max compared to, which is one of my favorite shoes from 2017 in general. There's a lot of things that I thought this shoe would have a lot more of, and it really doesn't. And so because of that, I do not recommend the shoe. So whether or not cop or drop, definitely drop. So hopefully in future colorways, I've already seen some newer colorways where it's a lot less playful than this, and I really like those colorways a lot more. But I think from a comfort perspective, if they're not going to be comfortable, then there's no way I'm going to actually end up getting any new pairs. If you enjoyed this video, definitely let me know, and in the comments if there are any specific types of shoes that you're looking to buy but don't want to necessarily take the plunge, let me know. There's a lot of things that I, as a consumer, really want to understand before I take a purchase and buy a shoe. And so if there's something that you want to look at, leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get to the on feed.